Hello. Welcome, viewers. Twitch. YouTube. It's time to continue with Star Trek Online. It's been a hot week since I last done any STO. I actually took a little bit of a break from STO over the weekend since it was Halloween, and I got busy with other stuff, so it was nice to take a break from STO for a little bit. Some other stuff here. I gotta get the game up here because I think my PC game source settings are all kind of wacky right now because of all the stuff I was doing during Spooktober on Halloween. There we go. Game's up. Alright. Welcome back to space. The final frontier. Where everyone in the game has already been before. Hold on. Need to fix that. There we go. Alright, so catch up on a few things. The Halloween event is over, done, and gone. I don't even miss it. There was really nothing to it. Anyway, event-wise, the game is doing Red Alert event again. It's just kind of a default event. Like, okay, whatever. Apparently they're doing this for a couple of weeks here. So, you have plenty of time to do this, so there's really no excuse. So, a free ship upgrade token, a tech upgrade, and a specialization point. And you get some dilithium after this, so. And you get some reputation marks from doing these. Not as much as they used to give out, though. It's kind of disappointing now. It used to be they'll give you the purple quality fleet rewards at least once for each category a day. Now it's just blue, and blue is like 30 marks or something like that. It's really not that much, so it's like, why should I even bother with that? Apparently they think it's worthwhile. Or I mean devs. Let me get the Ferengi thing going here. So, we're going to continue with the Delta Quadrant tonight. Knock out a couple more episodes of that. And then we'll see what else we can do. Oh yeah, tonight, or yeah, we're going to be doing the, we're going to be doing the Quark episode tonight, which should be fun. It's always a fun episode to go through. I'm still working on these, whatever you call them, commendation R&D schools. I mean the commendation stuff. R&D I'm still working on. Admiralty I'm just doing the tour duties. I'm not doing anything else on those. No. We never do this. Never do purchase prototype, whatever. I just end up with garbage that I can't do anything with. Don't want that. It is not worth the energy credits. Even though energy credits are easy to come by and grind for, this is still not worth doing for 50,000 energy credits. It's a waste. It is a waste. Now, if it's over like 1,000 diplomatic points, then maybe. For 167, no, it's not worth it. Because you end up with garbage that I gotta get rid of. I haven't looked at the store. What do they have on sale? I heard ship bundles are on sale now. Yeah, ship bundles. Da, 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 da. What's the new one? Oh yeah, this is the new stuff here. There's your Norway class and whatever this is. Seneca and the Valdres. So I've already seen one of the Senecas. Somebody had a Seneca flying around when I was catching up on stuff earlier today. Kind of a weird ship. Do not call it a penis ship. It does not look like one. But don't call it a whatever. Alright. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the story here. Alright, so we're doing Doomed to Repeat.
Odo's found something intriguing in the Masan system. Something the Founders want no one to know about, even one of their own. That certainly piques my curiosity. I'll meet you in the Masan system. Odo wants to travel incognito this time. I trust you'll be able to deliver him and that surly Jem'Hadar bodyguard of his to the Masan system intact. One more thing. I've taken the liberty of informing Captain Kira, and she'll be joining us as well. After the Karema incident, she's taken a personal interest in high-level Dominion activity, particularly where Ambassador Odo is involved.
Sure thing, Garrick.
Be seeing you.
Be seeing you shortly. Alright, back to the Gamma Quadrant. You know, from the stuff I was doing earlier today, I got a croissant and an Andorian potato. I forgot to get rid of those. Still have them. Anybody want a croissant and a potato? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Cinematic mode. And we have arrived. Back to the slow loading. You ever wake up with music in your head in the morning? For 2 days in a row, I had like the stupid Tatooine band music playing in my head in the morning. It's like
I only
don't know why.
recently learned of the station here.
And now what I did, it's stuck in your head now
Very
too.
well concealed, even from Vorta and Jem'Hadar. From what I can tell, the Founders studied alien life here, including the Hur'q. We may be able to recover useful tactical data on them from the station's computers.
Were you expecting those Dominion ships out there?
No, and that concerns me. This is supposed to be an abandoned facility. Take us into comms range and open a hailing frequency. Let me do the talking. I should be able to make any Vorta or Jem'Hadar fall into line if things get difficult.
Agreed. No, take us in.
So far so good. They're not targeting us.
Entering the Dominion systems without authorization has become a bad habit of yours, one I have grown weary of. You've shown a singular talent for annihilating the Hur'q. I suggest you return to that, before my patience with your insolence expires.
Noted. The Ambassador has something to add.
There's no need for this posturing, Founder. We're here on official business under my authority.
Odo, it seems to be a day for defiance and bad habits. You do not have the authority to grant access to this system. It is restricted to all but those of the highest level, a level you do not possess. Now then, I suggest you leave immediately.
We're not going anywhere, Founder.
Fire to disable. Odo must not be harmed.
Fine.
Dominion forces, this is Counselor Garrick aboard the Tane. Cease hostilities. Consider that your first and only warning.
We must protect the Founder. All ships, disengage!
I'm just about to blast him with my mega cannon. And they disappeared.
You certainly know how to make my days more interesting. An ancient Dominion research facility, guarded by the leader of the Founders? A cloaked fleet pales in comparison, but it's the best I can add to the mix.
Glad you could make it, Garrick.
I wouldn't have missed it for the world. The fact that the Founder was willing to fire on one of her own speaks volumes on this station's worth. I look forward to discovering its secrets.
Since when does the Founder stand guard duty, Odo?
She doesn't. Let's find out what she's hiding.
We don't have a lot of time. We may have held off the Founder for now, but she'll be back, and she'll bring friends. Let's get down there and find what we came here for, before every Jem'Hadar in the Quadrant shows up.
I couldn't agree more, Captain. Why don't you and the Ambassador join the away team while I remain on guard with my fleet?
Ahem. I thought you wanted to find some secrets, Garrick.
On any other day, I'd be the first to beam down. However, after the Karema incident, I believe both the Captain and the Ambassador need to discover the truth of this station together. Call it a trust-building exercise.
That's diplomatic of you, Garrick.
Captain Kira makes a good point. Let's get this over with before it gets even more complicated than it already is.
Alright. Alright, who is coming? Let's see. Dallin. Umalot, he has white hair now for I don't know why. Andy the android. And ooh, we're at the sun.
Looks like the station's running on auxiliary power. We've got life support, basic lighting, not much else. If we're gonna get anything useful out of this relic, we'll need to get the main power back online.
Agreed.
Stay vigilant. We have no idea what to expect here.
Well done. Main power is back online. We'll be able to access other systems, including the data core. Let's find an access console and see what's in there. Hopefully the data files aren't corrupted beyond repair.
What will we find?
This terminal is in poor shape. None of the files are accessible. Considering their age, I'm not terribly surprised. The Founders wouldn't keep a place like this hidden to protect dust and broken files. Let's check all the data terminals and consoles in the area. That one over there looks reasonably intact.
Alright, let's check it out.
Research Report 4121.63, Dominion Reckoning. My fellow Founders, the Mesan Research Station is fully operational. As we continue to add worlds to our sphere of influence, our studies of xenobiology become more important. We must know all we can of both friend and foe. We need every advantage we can find if we are to achieve true dominion. Our premier project is underway. You'll recall the recently discovered race of tree dwellers, hunted as we once were. Genetic engineering of these solids has produced considerable results. Their intelligence has increased by a factor of 3 so far. We predict this species will be the first of many loyal servitors and vassals.
Interesting.
She's talking about the Vorta. The date she gave was nearly 2,000 years ago, not long after the Dominion was founded. This facility's older than we thought. Much older.
Indeed.
Research Report 4653.15, Dominion Reckoning. Our scouts have discovered an interesting species of solids at the edge of the Dominion. They are a species of sentient insectoids that live primarily underground. We may not have detected them were it not for a thorough geological scan. Initial studies have revealed that these solids are based on germanium. I've attached bioscan data we collected on them for your review. I've dispatched a research unit to study these burrows further. They may be just what we need for the military initiative.
Fascinating.
Burrowing sentient insectoids. Germanium-based. She must be talking about the Hur'q. Judging by the date, the Founders made first contact with the Hur'q nearly 2,000 years ago.
Well, let's see if we can find more data. I need more data. More data.
Research Report, Dominion Date 7021.27. More data has arrived on the cadre species 484 designation, burrows. Their world's unusual orbital path has taken it out of the habitable zone. As a result, the burrows have retreated underground and entered a state of hibernation. While dormant, a smaller servitor race tends to the burrows. They also maintain their shared habitat and technology. I've instructed the field team to take advantage of their dormancy period, and they are now conducting aggressive studies of these intriguing solids. My team initiated first contact protocols with the borrowers prior to their mass dormancy. They found them to be friendly and intelligent, if not willful. We've identified a common element in their food supply. Manipulation of this element may prove useful in subjugating them.
Intelligent? Friendly?
Unbelievable. It sounds like the Founders made first contact with the Hur'q in order to find a way to conquer them. It's like Quark says, the bigger the smile, the sharper the knife.
Yeah, let's keep searching.
Research Report 7903.01, Dominion Reckoning. Cadre Species 468, designation Jem'Hadar, is a massive success. They will be the strong arm of our Dominion, guided by our cunning, brilliant Vorta. The toil of these vassals will allow us to spend more time in the link with those we hold most dear.
She sounds so proud.
The birth of the Jem'Hadar, as seen through a Founder's eyes. Interesting. No mention of the Hur'q, however. Their designation number was lower than ours. They were our predecessors. Perhaps something went wrong? Something that led the Founders to reject and abandon them for a different species. Us.
Let's find out. More logs. At least I don't have to actually read all of these out. Just gotta listen.
Research Report Dominion Date 8183.67. The burrowers have emerged once again, and in a hostile state. They have taken to the stars, moving from sector to sector, attacking anyone that crosses their path. Their goal is not one of conquest, but of consumption. They leave nothing but dead worlds in their wake.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I distract you? Oh, I'm sorry.
Though we do not understand their newfound savagery, we have found a use for it. When the burrowers set their sights on a world, we offer the inhabitants a choice. Those that submit to our Dominion rule are defended by the Jem'Hadar. Those that don't serve as an object lesson to others.
We've seen that tactic before.
So, the Founders have been using the Hur'q to manipulate others for some time now. Bend the knee to the Dominion, or we'll stand back and let them ravage your world. Only now something's different. Something's changed. They can't keep the Hur'q in line with the Jem'Hadar anymore. And we're all paying the price.
Indeed. Indeed. Welcome to the stream. Hey, don't blame me. Dukan'Rex put himself right there. I can't help it. He's just floating in the air, so I just like, I don't know. His ass is like right there in my view. Enjoy some nice, juicy Jem'Hadar ass.
Research Report 8532.38. Our scouts have returned from a wormhole expedition. The solid races on the other side are primitive and unremarkable, save for one. They are called Klingons, and show a singular talent for violence, one that rivals our own Jem'Hadar. Left unchecked, these savage creatures could become dangerous enemies. While the Klingons are too willful to subjugate, their genetic material could produce viable cohorts to the Jem'Hadar, or their replacements. We have begun development of a new cadre species, designation Fek'ihri, using demons from Klingon folklore for inspiration. As with Jem'Hadar, we have bound them to our service with the White. We will test them in combat on the Klingons themselves. Research Report Supplemental Entry 8671.71, Dominion Reckoning. Somehow the Fek'ihri have broken the hold of the White and turned on their rightful masters. Most of our research team were killed. Intelligence reports suggest a union between the Fek'ihri and a Klingon warlord known as Mullah. Perhaps this will lead to a state of mutually assured destruction on Kronos. One can only hope.
Wait, hold on. The Founders made the Fek'ihri?
So it would seem. Only they lost control of them, despite the use of Ketracel White. Based on what we know about Fek'ihri, it seems the price they paid for their freedom was insanity. They became the monsters they were based on.
Unfortunately, we're all concerned. What a twist.
Research Report 9076.23. Final entry. I am weary. Soon I'll return to the Great Link, and I will be glad to be rid of this place. The borrowers have emerged again. We can barely control them this time. The Jem'Hadar were able to divert their onslaught at great cost. Rather than counterattack, they went through the wormhole to seek easier prey. Our agents in the other quadrants report that the Burrow assault was a sweeping one, going as far as Kronos. Hopefully they'll devour every atom of that wretched planet. The Burrowers will eventually return to dormancy. Strangely, it appears that some of their forces intend on remaining in the other quadrants. It seems they have a long-term goal. Galactic devastation.
They steered the Hur'q into other quadrants.
Yes, they knew the Hur'q problem was getting worse even then. Instead of preparing or seeking allies, they expanded the Dominion. And when the Hur'q re-emerged, they tried to deal with it on their own, and failed. Their arrogance may lead to the end of the Dominion. We need to get this data to the Alliance, all of it, even the damaged and corrupted files. There has to be information we can use in here.
Agreed.
I'm picking up something on my tricorder. There was a massive power spike on a lower deck, and now I'm reading a large number of systems cycling up. Something's happening down there.
We should investigate this.
Agreed. Take your team and Captain Kira down to investigate. I'll remain here and pull as much of the data as possible. We won't get another chance at this.
We won't be gone long. Isn't Loratson like the cutest Jem'Hadar? Alright, enough of logs. Let's go do something.
We must be close to the core. Hope we don't have to leave in a hurry. There's no way our ships can lock onto us down here with transporters.
Not an optimal exit strategy.
Tell me about it. Let's stay focused on the mission. Now that we're closer to the signal, I'm getting better readings on my tricorder. I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure everything that came online down here has some sort of medical purpose.
Is there something else on your mind?
I'm still uncertain about Odo. I need to be sure he's still not a part of all this.
What are your concerns, Captain?
The Odo I knew wouldn't have risked Bajor like that. This Odo seems arrogant and reckless, even dangerous.
We'll keep an eye on him after we regroup. Coordinated ducking. Duck. Yes. You guys are a little slow, but alright. Ugly monsters.
Well, that answers one question. These are medical stasis pods. Judging by what we heard upstairs, I think the occupants are Fek'ihri.
Bad news.
It gets worse. I'm picking up life signs ahead. I'll bet some of the stasis pods down here have opened. From what we know about the Fek'ihri, they probably won't be happy to see us.
Okay. Ready weapons. Stay
Worf
alert.
and Martok need to see this.
Yeah, it's too bad they're not here. They would love it. For the glory of the Empire! That's what they would be like. Today is a good day to die.
I'm picking up traces of Ketracel white in these tanks. The Dominion probably manufactured it here to keep the Fek'ihri in line, and took it with them when they left the facility. So, we have a station full of angry Fek'ihri with no way to pacify them.
Yeah, well, we can still pacify them, we just have to shoot them in the head. We should keep moving. That's how we pacify them. We just shoot
We've got
them.
company, and they don't look friendly. We're lucky there were only a few of them. I don't want to be around if all of these Fek'ihri wake up. Let's see if we can find some way to keep the rest of these pods from opening.
Very well.
By the prophets. More incoming. We need an exit. Fast.
Odo to Kira, we're on our way to assist you.
Oh, I don't have my rifle. I have my shotgun equipped. Alright. Whatever. Dishonor.
Maurice, are you...
I'll manage. Let's get out of here while we can.
Victory is life.
Victory must defeat dishonor first.
So is Raktajino, but I don't say it every 5 seconds.
Good.
I think we've worn out our welcome. Garrick informs me that a number of unidentified vessels are emerging from hidden bays throughout the station. To make matters worse, the Hur'q have arrived. They're beginning to assault the station as we speak, and I don't need to tell you how that will end. It's time to leave.
Let's head back up then. Kill any and all Fek'ihri in the way. To re-equip my rifle, because I didn't have it on me. For extra long-range combat.
Looks like the Hur'q followed us down here. Keep moving. We're almost there.
Odo, look out!
Like what?
Hold your fire. I think it's trying to communicate.
You might be right. Listen.
Oh, and dead.
Are you insane?
He's like, what? It was a Hur'q. I had to shoot it. Whoa! Glitching, 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 glitching. Whoa.
I'm relieved to see you well. It's fortunate we arrived when we did. A moment later, and that creature would have attacked the Founder.
The situation was under control.
Odo wasn't in any danger, Wayun. That Hur'q was peaceful. It was trying to communicate with us.
That's your opinion. Mine is that a Founder was in danger of being attacked by a member of an aggressive species. My duty was clear, as is my conscience. We're wasting time here, Captain. The station is on the verge of being overrun by the Hur'q. If you want to communicate with them some more, you're free to do so, but I recommend we leave immediately.
I guess I agree with him. Alright. Or... oh, these are Fek'ihri. And Hur'q. It's the Monster Bash. Monster Mash. We have Fek'ihri and Hur'q guts everywhere. It's gonna take a while to clean that up.
Once we return to the upper levels, we will be able to beam up and leave this place. Are you ready to return?
Yes, let's get back to the ship.
Glad you could join us. As you can see, the situation here has become rather combustible. The Hur'q I recognize, of course, but our other opponents remain. Some Untitled Dominion attack that.
Not now. No, I mean not new, old. They're Fek'ihri.
Remember Mr. Quark mentioned Fek'ihri?
Nope, no time to talk.
Beginning to see why.
A massive Hur'q fleet dropping out of Quark.
Just as the Fek'ihri are wonderful.
Looks like the Fek'ihri are pursuing the better part of valor. Can't say I blame them. There's a lot of Hur'q out there.
Indeed.
The Hur'q seem to be distracted. There's something about the station that's holding their attention. We might be able to take advantage of this.
Are you suggesting we attack? While it's true we have the advantage, for now, I don't think we'll hold it for long once we start blowing them apart. We have what we came for. If the Hur'q want to gnaw on an asteroid while we make a hasty exit, I believe we should let them enjoy their meal in peace.
I agree. Let's just go.
Very well. We'll deal with the Hur'q later. For now, let's get back so we can analyze the research data we found here. Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Let's go.
The Founders never disappoint, do they? Learning their role in the creation of Klingon mythology was alarming, to say the least. I can't help but wonder what other secrets we'll learn once those ancient data files are restored. I'm afraid I have bad news to share. I reviewed your encounter with that peaceful Hur'q, and my universal translator analysis is clear. It was trying to communicate. It was asking for help. One thing is certain. The Founders won't forget our act of defiance. We should all be on guard from now on. Our uneasy peace with the Dominion could unravel all too soon.
Alright, mission rewards. Basic stuff. Universal Kit Module for Fek'ihri Chaos Blaze. I've never really used this all that often, because I think I recall it being a little slow to use, but it's an okay kit module. It's basically a fire explosion thing. And generic pull-on weapons, which we don't care about. Let's take that. So now we get to do the fun mission. Quark's Lucky 7.
My apologies for the quality of the transmission.
Yes, very bad transmission.
On an encrypted frequency. I'm working on an important covert mission, and I could use your assistance. I can't go into the details over comms, but you should know, if we pull this off, it could change the course of the Hur'q conflict in our favor. Meet with me on Deep Space Nine to go over the details. Come along. I've been asked to keep the details of the mission on a need-to-know basis, and right now, only you and I need to know.
Okay. Accept.
Good luck.
Then you go back to Deep Space Nine. Back to the wormhole.
No, absolutely not. This is your worst idea yet.
Do I need to remind you of the unwritten rule of acquisition, brother?
Rule 0. What the Nagus wants, we acquire. Why me? Get an eliminator to do it. Get 50. You can afford it.
You have connections with the Klingons. That and you're Rom's second most trusted Ferengi.
What? Who's first? Nog? Pell?
No. Moogie.
Fine. Send her then.
But brother, you did such a great job of rescuing her before.
I also told your son to shoot me if I ever thought of doing something like that again.
That's right, you did. Well, don't worry, he won't.
That's not what I'm worried about.
We need this, brother. We can't hold off the Hur'q forever.
Alliance forces are spread too thin to help, Quark.
We need the Klingons, brother, otherwise we're doomed.
Insanity! You don't even know where the Iconian fleet is, Rom.
I don't, but Starfleet intelligence monitors all major threats, including the Iconians.
Starfleet isn't in the habit of sharing classified data.
If we can get access to a security console, we can extract the data. We'll need to keep the security officer on duty occupied.
Oh, leave that to me, husband.
All right, Lita. The security officer on duty is...
Yes, I am Lita now.
Comes in on her break every day without fail. Your job is to keep her occupied so Rom can get what we need from the security console. Do what you need to do. Smile, laugh at her jokes, whatever it takes. Put those feminine wiles of yours to good use.
Feminine wiles?
Really, Quark? I'm not here to seduce your customers. You and I both know there's more than one way to work a mark.
Whatever you say, just don't mess it up. She'll be here any minute now.
You worry too much, Quark. I got this.
Hello!
It's your lucky day, officer. You're the 10 millionth customer here at Quark's. Congratulations! You've just won a free drink and a free spin at the Davo table. Quark, why don't you pour the lucky winner a drink? What'll it be, Constable?
Oh, thanks. I'll take an iced Dractigino. I'm on duty. I can't stay too long, but I suppose I have enough time for a spin at the table. Lead the way.
Oh, serve drink.
Quark, will you turn that hollow me off, please? It's creeping me out.
What? Now? I don't know who's answering.
This is why I like the Hollow Leader. She doesn't complain as much as the original. There. Happy?
Yes, thank you, Quark.
The free drink will get her to relax. And then some Dabo to keep her busy.
Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to be playing
One
Dabo.
loss to remove suspicion.
Oh.
Oh, looks like my luck's run out. Oh well. Thanks for the drink and the spin. Better get back to my station.
Wait.
Whoa, whoa, don't be so hasty, friend. The law of averages is on your side here. Trust me. Have another spin on the house. What have you got to lose?
Okay, you've convinced me. One more spin. Why not?
Run the rigged game.
And then a victory to reel her in. Dabo!
Nicely done. Those winnings are coming out of your cut, though.
Good, the guard's distracted. Time to go to work. Overriding this door panel should be child's play. This is the most secret maintenance panel.
The most secret maintenance panel.
Fix it once.
Light puzzle. Oh, I can actually do this in my sleep. Why don't we use the DS9 engineering experience that Chief O'Brien taught us the trick to instantly solving these things. Yes, grub pie. Grub pie. Override.
Once I'm in, I can install a back door. Then we can access the system from the console at Quark's.
Alright, test different combination didn't you find sequence smashes the key, okay. No digits are correct. Keep testing until we see one is correct. One, two. It better not be 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm not going to brute force it. One, two, three. Really? Let me just see, is this 4? Okay, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have been really weird if it was. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 5.
She's heading back, Rom. Get out of there!
I'm going.
Relax, everyone. It's done. I'm on my way back.
You didn't close the panel.
Try not to look conspicuous or guilty.
Okay.
Somebody keeps saying stupid sexy me in the background. Zazrit! What are you doing?
Can't believe you pulled that off. Being the Nagus hasn't made you go soft between the lobes. Let's figure this out before security gets wise. Use the console behind the bar and find out what you can about the Iconians. Oh, and while you're at it, look for any other useful information in there, too. Some of it could be valuable, you know.
Okay.
Relax, brother. I'll have these files cracked in no time. Starfleet encryption is good, but it's nothing compared to what we use in the Commerce Authority. That's actually difficult.
Let's see, mission log for each faction. What's up with the Borg?
Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 87961.3. Intermittent Borg activity in the Quadrant. We've been able to track a Unimatrix vessel, and our countermeasures are keeping its fleet at bay. The recent escalation of the Hur'q conflict is straining the number of resources available for Borg surveillance.
What about the Breen?
Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 87983.1. Breen forces continue to harass the Teferi, though hostilities have not intensified as of late. The Breen have made no overtures toward the Dominion since their recent return to the Alpha Quadrant. Looks like the honeymoon might be over at last.
What about the Fek'ihri?
Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 88139.9. A large Fek'ihri fleet has been spotted in transit to the Gamma Quadrant. Analysis of their course suggests they're heading toward the renegade Iconian fleet. Interesting. If the two of them manage to eliminate each other, well, that'll be 2 less headaches to keep me up at night.
How about the Hur'q?
Intelligence Officer's Log, Stardate 89001.7. Major Hur'q activity throughout the 4 quadrants. As expected, Alliance forces are spread thin in attempts to protect critical sites in their own territory, as well as within the Dominion. The Klingons continue to stay out of it, with the exception of a token force of volunteers. Efforts to enlist the full aid of the Empire to date have faltered.
Let's start from the bottom here. What about the Zinkefi?
Intelligence Officer's Log, stardate 89001.7. Getting a lot of disturbing reports from Zenkethi space lately. Whispers of corruption in the highest ranks and talks of a coup are in the air on Zenketh. The Autarch's days might be numbered after his crusade failed, though the arrival of the Hur'q has kept him on the throne. For now.
And the mysterious Tholians.
Intelligence Officer's Log, stardate 89101.1. Tholian web technology has worked well against the Hur'q so far. They ensnared 70% of a Hur'q fleet shortly after it dropped out of warp. The rest of the fight was brief and one-sided. At least Tholian xenophobia is consistent. Our attempts to negotiate for web technology have been completely ignored.
What about those dastardly Terrans? What are they up to?
Intelligence Officer's Log, stardate 88006.2. There have been some recent Terran incursions from the Badlands, but nothing overly organized. As of now, there hasn't been any sight of Admiral Lita since her attack on DS9. Perhaps she has finally given up? One can only hope.
So what happened to the Nakul?
Intelligence Officer's Log, stardate 87997.9. I can't help but be impressed by the Nakul. Their star is all but dead. Their world's an ice ball, and they refuse to leave. They defend that ice ball against all comers, even the Hur'q. Every Nakul big enough to carry a phaser fought, and they actually won. And I thought Tellarites were stubborn.
Alright, let's finally get to the Iconians. Remember the Iconians? Yeah, they're kind of going to come back for a little bit here.
Intelligence Officer's Log, stardate 88039.8. Taket's fleet is currently in the Phoeban sector, moving through deep space. She's keeping a low profile for the most part, avoiding conflict with both the Dominion and the Hur'q. Anything foolish enough to get in her sights doesn't live long enough to regret it, however. The wreckage of a Gamma pirate flotilla will testify to that.
That's all the info I need. And Zezrit, you are both stupid and sexy.
All right, Rom, a deal is a deal. You found the Iconian, so I guess it's my turn now. Time to put the team together?
Yes. Yes.
And that's the job. Confront.
Where's Gala?
Really? He shot the hostage last time. He's not invited.
Brunt, your database skills should help us locate the package.
Always happy to help, Grand Nagus. Retreat.
Still a master of Rule 33. Aren't you, Brunt?
It never hurts to suck up to the boss.
Of course. I presume you'll need my ship again, yes?
Not this time. We'll need a ship that can fight, just in case.
And we'll have it, thanks to our friend here.
Good.
Me.
Everyone's here. Also, full consortium.
Unbelievable!
The table's rigged. I'm sure of it.
Here we are. The cloaking device I acquired from my cousin Gala is working like a charm. Keep an eye on it, though. I'd rather not attract the attention of the Iconians, or the Fek'ihri, for that matter.
Agreed.
Looks like they're busy trying to blow each other to bits out there. Let's use that to our advantage. You see those Iconian sentry probes? They use those to detect cloaked ships, so you'll want to disable them before we move much closer. This cloak is good, but it's not that good.
Understood.
Getting in's the easy part.
We'll be fine.
Cloaked and unexpected.
That should be enough to get to the flagship undetected.
Well, we can all stop holding our breath now. It worked. If you'll be so kind as to fly us behind that massive Iconian ship, we'll be on our way.
That should be easy too.
Almost there. Just take it nice and easy. We made it. I can't believe I'm actually going to sneak onto an Iconian flagship. Keep the engine running, okay? I have a feeling we're going to need to get out of here in a hurry.
Our shuttle is prepped. Good luck.
I've never been this close before. Impressive.
Terrifying, more like it. This is insane. Nog, you're our engineer. Buy at 400 and sell at 5.
It'll be up to you to disable the security systems, son.
Right. I'm familiar with their tech from the war. I won't let you down, Father. Evade.
We're up first, Nog. We need to lower the local
I
security
am
so
Nog.
Brunt and Lek can do their jobs.
Right.
No problem. I memorized the schematics for this vessel on the way here. There are engineering consoles we can use for that nearby. Follow me.
Head left here, Nog.
If I want to go right. What if I want to go right? Now this leads to a dead end.
I've studied Iconian systems. I can unlock these doors. If I send in the appropriate signals to the
Good.
door, I should
We'll
be
have
able
to
to
disable
toggle the
security
door
and
locks.
engineering.
The good news is that my tricorder can get me the signal I need to send. The bad news is the Iconian systems only take trinary input. I think I see how the inputs work, so it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, I remember this puzzle. Need to be 27. Woody. 21. Use tricorder. Okay, good. 1201.
Got it. And we're done here. Heralds! Don't worry, I can handle them.
I can handle them. My one phaser.
Hold on, Uncle. Something's coming.
That looks like more than we can handle. Let Lek take care of it. He'll probably enjoy it.
Think I can lock the door behind once it's gone.
Great idea. Do that. Quickly! Head right here.
Whoa. Oh. 2021.
Got it. And we're done here. We've made it. This is main engineering. Security's offline. We're good to go.
Can we drop their rear shield for a moment?
Sure.
From the other console? Why?
You'll see.
What's that, Uncle?
Call it an insurance policy. Lad,
Insurance.
how do you feel about Iconian heralds?
Very dangerous. I look forward to shooting some. Sell at 250? Buy at 100.
You'll get your chance, clearing the path for Quark and Nog.
The riskier the road, the greater the profit. I'm in.
And now we get to kill.
Front, you're on.
Brunt, FCA. I'm on my way.
The hunt is on. Magnificent. Truly magnificent.
Man, if only those heralds were like that easy to take down in the regular game.
It's looking this way between patrol points. I should be able to sneak up on it.
You have a micro torpedo spread.
Behind the walls. Ooh, they fight back. Good, good.
Nope. Nope, don't die.
Limit. I bet I could make that console explode remotely.
Out into space.
Not the explosion I was looking for, but it'll do.
I found the package. The Iconian keeps it on display in what looks like a trophy room. And here I thought they were above such basic behavior. I've analyzed their patrol patterns, Lek. You'll need a clear path for Quark and Nog. I trust you'll keep the guards in that area occupied for a suitable period of time?
Of course.
Testing my skills against Iconians? This is worth more than latinum to me. Don't get your lobes bunched, Brunt. I'll clear the path for the others by any means necessary.
Any means necessary. Yeah.
More enemies to the left, and another console. What? Still no explosion? Ugh, ridiculous. If I make some noise, the big one will come to investigate.
And now we do sneak attack.
This isn't work. This is fun.
Yeah, this probably is more fun than work.
If I overload those conduits, I'm sure it'll make a big explosion.
Big explosions.
Doesn't anything blow up around here? Lick the Quark. The path is clear.
I'm detecting some nearby patrols.
I want to see if I can cause a distraction. Hold on. I blow up that console, it'll cause a nice distraction.
A nice explosion.
How do I overload these ridiculous Iconian consoles?
Easy. First you need to... Wait. How are you at trinary conversions?
Never mind. I have a workaround.
Overload my phaser.
Brother, you'll crack the safe. Once Brunt finds it, that is.
Nice of you to give me the easy job, Rom.
By that point, Lek will have eliminated their guards.
We're talking about Iconians here, Rom.
I'll be with you, Uncle. You'll be fine.
Oh, I feel so much better now.
Now we get to be Quark.
Time for me to earn my share. Watch and learn.
With my gambling device.
Don't worry, Uncle. I've got your back.
Not gonna do fighting.
You know, you were supposed to shoot me if I got pulled into another one of these.
I thought you meant rescue operations. I can shoot you later if you like.
No, it just wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, one.
I'm impressed.
That's one word for it. We left some guarding the trophy room.
It's okay, Uncle. We can handle them.
No, you gonna do anything? Just gonna stand there? There you go.
All right, Bob, let's find the package. It has to be in one of the display cases around the room.
The cat's treasure room. What amazing things will we find?
Amazing! That's a singularity. Taket must have taken it from a Romulan warbird. You could say it was the heart of that ship. Must have been a memorable opponent for her to keep that on display like this.
It keeps a black hole, huh?
Is that part of an Iconian? Why would Taket keep a severed body part? That's insane.
Taket lost her arm when she fought Kahless during the war. She's keeping it as a trophy or maybe a reminder of one of her few failures. I knew she was intense, but this is pretty ridiculous.
No comment. Next. Yeah, I remember when Kahless cut her arm off. It feels like so long ago.
That's a lot of Latinum. Impressive.
Hello there.
I could buy a Starliner with that and have enough left to buy a condo on Ryza. Probably not beachfront, but it'd be nice. It's FCA graded, too. She must have gotten it from a Ferengi. Oh, tough break. Seems only fitting that we acquire it. Fine. Mind on the mission. Stop looking at me like that.
You know you want a Quark. Welcome to the stream. As you look at things.
Looks like a secure treasure box. I wonder what's inside. It could be practically anything. Leave it to an Iconian to lock up a box of valuables and hoard it away.
It is a loot box.
Well, not everyone is as good at opening locks as you, Uncle. Most people would need the appropriate key.
I'm not most people. I don't buy lockbox keys. That's for silly people.
Ah, I've seen these statues on New Romulus. They were made by the Day Ones, a servitor race of the Iconians. Not sure why Taket would keep one of these on display. Maybe it's of a sentimental value to her, even if that's possible.
She's not the sentimental type.
Seeing these reminds me of the Dominion War. A lot of those were sent back home to loved ones. Starfleet, the Klingons, the Romulans. They all have their different rituals. Even the enemy cared for their dead.
And they say you don't have a heart, Uncle.
Well, they're right.
It's too bad we don't have enough time to steal these and sell them back to the people who want them. 34th rule of acquisition, Nog. War is good for business. That's a bottle of prune juice. I'd recognize that color anywhere. Worf constantly demanded I have a bottle on hand at the bar. A warrior's drink, he called it. More like a torture drink. I tried some once. Let's just say that it was not a pleasant digestive experience.
Yeah, prune juice. I don't even know why Taket has a bottle of prune juice. I don't know. why she would have it, unless she likes prune juice for some reason.
You know, I always told the top brass at the Corps of Engineers that making the party poppers look like weapons was a bad idea. Any officer who uses one of those instead of a real weapon is in for a bad day. I suspect that's how Taket got her hand on one of these balloons. Shame.
I mean, I don't even know why Taket would keep it, but okay.
Uncle, that looks like Captain Sisko's baseball. You don't think it's his, do you? I thought Jake took it with him.
Could be.
Do you remember when Sisko made us play baseball against the Vulcans? Rom wouldn't stop talking about it for weeks. Put a bunch of money into that new Interstellar League, too. Still can't believe he bought a professional team. The Ferenginar Liquidators. They're terrible. Got beat by the Cation Claws by a score of 18-4, and they were cheating!
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it would be Sisko's Latin baseball, because this baseball is still on the still in the office on DS9, so I don't know. That can't be it.
Interesting. I read about these at the Academy. Something called NASA sent them out on crewed space probes centuries ago to initiate first contact with alien life. I believe this contains audio files, animal sounds, music, language samples. My Earth history instructor would love to get her hands on this. We should, acquire it if we have the time.
I'm on the mission, Nog. Actually, that looks like that's just the, Actually, I don't really recognize that. That's not the Voyager one or the Pioneer one. This was that kind of made-up one. But the Pioneer one has the human figures on it. And the Voyager had was just a record, I believe. But I don't think any of them actually look like that. Anyway, here's what we're looking for here.
Package located. The Sword of Kahless. Now, we need to retrieve it.
Yes, we are here for the Sword of Kahless.
I can use this to bring the package from its display globe. I need to use the right frequencies, though. Enter the wrong one, and every alarm around will go off. The frequencies change periodically. Once I start this, I need to get them all, or I'll have to start over.
I can just scan the machine for you. Should be easy enough to get the frequencies.
And leave a report.
You, of all people, should know that Federation tricorders record whatever they scan. Never leave a data trail. We'll do this the Ferengi way. It'll take someone with the lobes for the job. That's me.
Hey, frequency between 65 and 85. Well, there's an easy way to do this. We can just do this. There we go. 1535. And 16. Got it. Take the Sword of Kahless. Just reach up there and grab
it. Nicely done, Uncle! We did it! We actually did it! We shouldn't stick around, though. Let's head back to the shuttle before the Iconians figure out what we're up to.
Right.
Rule 7. Keep your ears open and your eyes on the mark.
That's far enough.
I'm just gonna
Well done, Quark. You actually managed to pull it off. I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised. You've a talent for larceny, after all. Time, however, is a factor. Hand it over now, or I'll shoot you both and take it from your cold, dead fingers.
You wouldn't dare.
Are you out of your mind? Have you forgotten who Nog and I are related to? No payout is worth what will happen to you if you do this. Rom will have every Eliminator, Bounty Hunter, and Pirate in the 4 quadrants gunning for you.
How did Lek put it? Oh, yes. The riskier the road, the greater the profit. Wise words indeed. The payout from this job will provide me with more than enough latinum to remove your idiot brother and take my rightful place as the Grand Nagus. I'm willing to give you a sporting chance, however. Hand over the package. You might be able to flee before that very angry Iconian arrives.
This is insane.
Have it your way, Brunt. You're dumber than you look. If you think the crew of our ride won't be suspicious when you come back without us. They'll probably throw you in the brig on general principle. I know I would.
Ah, but I won't be traveling with them, Quark. I've made other travel arrangements. Time's up. Hand it over, or prepare to meet the blessed exchequer. Ha! I'd pay a lot to witness that audit. Might even be worth dying for, just to hear you scream on your way to the vault of eternal destitution.
Alright. Hand it over.
Goodbye, Quark. At last, goodbye!
Hello, Ticket. Long time no see.
Nog! Now!
A force field? It will not stop me, Fek'ihri.
Look a little closer. That's a chronoton field. You might make it through, but it's definitely gonna hurt. A lot. Or we can talk like sensible, intelligent people. Your call.
Very well. Speak. Your crimes are numerous. You breached my security, damaged my vessel, killed members of my crew, violated my sanctum, and stolen something very precious to me. Each is punishable by death. Tell me, why shouldn't I purge you like the odious vermin you are?
Steal? Me?
That's where you're wrong. I don't have anything of yours on me. Run a scan if you don't believe me. If anything, I was trying to stop the lunatic that did steal from you. I may be odious vermin, but I'm not stupid. Look, we should be working together to stop our mutual enemy instead of wasting time with this argument.
There will be plenty of time to eliminate each and every one of you filthy creatures. That field of yours will drop eventually, and then you will die. Your cohort will be tracked and ultimately killed. I will have my vengeance on you all soon enough.
Good point.
You're not entirely wrong, but I think you're going to have a much bigger problem to deal with in the very near future. Any moment now.
Any moment now.
Remember this? A little something we picked up on Karema. Keep it on your ship and beam it to our location when we give you the signal.
What's that, Uncle?
Call it an insurance policy.
Ah, yes, the orb of
You
destruction.
might make it through, but it's definitely gonna hurt. A lot. Or we can talk like sensible, intelligent people. Your call.
Explain yourself. Speak while you still can, Ferengi.
Oh, that?
They're called Hur'q. Maybe you've heard of them. Real nasty dispositions. Eat everything they come across, and now they've come across your fleet. You Iconians are tough, but you're not invincible. Against the Fek'ihri and the Hur'q, those are some pretty long odds, Tiket. Here's how this is gonna work. You're gonna let us go, and in return, I'll disable the device that's bringing every Hur'q in the quadrant here to chew on your ship. We'll go our way, you'll go yours. Otherwise, we'll wait and see what happens first. My field drops, or you and your ship become the main course at the Hur'q buffet.
I agree to your terms. Go, get out, leave my ship and disable your wretched device. Know this, you've made an enemy today, Ferengi. I am patient. I will avenge myself. You will pay for your crimes.
She sounds a lot like Odo, doesn't she?
Right. Then we have a deal. We'll be on our way then. I'll take care of your Hur'q problem once I've made it to a safe distance. I'd say it's been a pleasure, but we both know that'd be a lie.
Run.
What are we waiting for? Run! Run!
So many bugs.
We're almost there, but we lost the sword. We went through all of this, and for what?
It's not over yet.
Quark to Modron. Is the package secured?
Modron.
Modron here. You'll be happy to know the package is safe and sound. I beamed it to your ship a few minutes ago. I'm afraid Brunt is a little bruised, but these things happen. I'll keep him nice and sedated until we get back to the Alpha Quadrant. And Quark, be sure to let the Nagus know I held up my end of the bargain, won't you?
Of course.
I'll be sure to let him know, Modron. Quark out. Always have a backup plan, Nog. Especially when dealing with snakes like Brunt. Let's go. And look! The shuttle's right where we left it! Things are looking up for a change! Let's get out of here before Tiket changes her mind.
Let's go. Loading.
Thanks for sticking around. Now, come on, let's get back to this now. This very cranky Iconian looking for an excuse to kill us. That will not give me one more. Thankfully, they'll be busy dealing with the Hur'q. Garrett's little toy works like a charm.
Agreed.
We've got a problem. The cloaking device is acting up. If it goes down, every ship in the system will know we're here. I'll do what I can to keep it running, but we might need to fight our way out of here.
Understood, Captain. I think we can handle it.
The cloak's offline!
Terrific. This is what I get for buying from you.
Don't worry, I'll be running it again. I just need a couple minutes.
Found another way back.
Fek'ihri, we have Hur'q, we have Iconians. But we can handle it.
Cloak's online again, and we're at a safe distance from the enemy. We can leave as soon as you're ready.
Excellent.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I was ready to go the minute we warped into this system. And I'm doubly ready to go now. Not to tell you your business, but make it so, please.
Engage. Yes. We will engage.
Quark and Nog told me you did a great job keeping them all safe. Thank you for bringing them back in one piece. The 6th rule of acquisition says, never allow family to stand in the way of opportunity. But what can I say? Family means a lot to me.
So what happened to Brunt?
Brunt is ambitious, but predictable. We expected him to betray us, and we capitalized on it. Brunt made life difficult for the Nausicans who worked for Madron. That was a painful decision. Ask Dr. Bashir about that if you're interested.
And Madron?
Brunt made the mistake of dealing with someone more ambitious than he was. Madron came to me shortly after Brunt made him an offer, and I made Madron a counter-offer he couldn't refuse. I think I just came up with a new rule of acquisition. It's not smart to turn down a deal with the Grand Aegis. I'm pretty sure Madron would agree with that.
So, now what?
There's something I'm curious about. The Hur'q stole the Sword of Kalis from the Klingons a long time ago, but no one seems to know why. They didn't eat it, so there must be something about it they value. And we Ferengi are all about value. Perhaps the lab's sensors and equipment can tell us more. Maybe it's made of a rare, precious metal.
It's possible. Let's find out. Molecular dating. Dr. Bashir's here.
What can I do for you?
So how is Brunt doing?
Well, he's got a deep contusion of the auricular lobe and a possible dislocated malleus. Normally, in a Ferengi, either condition could be fatal, but it seems that whoever did this to our friend here knew exactly how to keep the damage just this side of lethal. Luckily for the patient, he'll live. Unluckily, There's only so much modern medicine can do to numb this type of pain. Quark and Rom don't seem too concerned, though.
Ouch.
And they'll both pay for their crimes. Ah!
Doctor?
If you say so, Brunt, but the Grand Nagus has other ideas, I'm afraid. And I hear that Ferengi prison is unpleasant.
To say the least.
None of the Ferengi were willing to tell me what led to Brunt looking like he went 10 rounds with the Gorn heavyweight champion. Care to enlighten me?
That's classified, Doctor. Sorry.
Based on the scans, that carapace was around for quite a long time before Kahless made a weapon out of it. The blade material is over 4,000 years old, where the story of Kahless is roughly only 1,600 years old.
Amazing. Open scan.
Now, this is interesting. These readings indicate that the sword of Kahless is made out of biological material with a germanium base. I'll need to run more tests to be certain, but I believe the weapon was fashioned out of a Hur'q carapace. This may explain their interest in it.
Fascinating.
I'm reading traces of multiple radiation types within the blade. Discounting the type that likely came from the Iconians, there are still clear traces of thermobaric and tetrionic radiation. I believe we could cross-reference Alliance and Dominion star charts and easily determine where these traces of radiation originated from.
Any conclusions, Doctor?
We have a 4,000-year-old weapon made of a Hur'q carapace. My analysis of the radiation within the blade should allow us to narrow down its point of origin. I've had the computer working on that as we speak. Let's have a look. Cross-referencing all known Alliance and Dominion star charts, and voila! There's one system that contains all of the conditions we've isolated. Havas Kul, at the edge of Dominion space. It's possible we've just discovered the location of the Hur'q homeworld. We should forward this information to the appropriate parties at once. This could be the breakthrough we've been looking for.
Sounds impressive and valuable. Rule 21, Quark. Never place friendship above profit.
And it's gone again. Ahem.
Unbelievable! I knew Brunt was a snake, but Lek? Guess I should have known better. The bigger the smile, the sharper the knife. And Lek's got plenty of both.
He played us all for fools.
He's a fool if he thinks he can steal from me! I'll have every eliminator, bounty hunter, and pirate in the 4 quadrants gunning for him! No one steals from the Grand Nagus and lives to profit from it!
Well, the Klingons won't be happy if they find out.
Considering how angry my father is, the Klingons will be the least of Lek's problems. I haven't seen him this mad since he caught me... Well, we don't need to get into that. Despite everything that's happened, we'll hold up our end of the bargain. I'll be in touch when everything is prepared. And remember, this operation never happened.
Alright. My lips are sealed. I'll return to my ship. And Zakrit is as stupid and sexy still.
Think they bought it?
Completely. As far as they're concerned, the sword has been stolen. You, might want to lay low for a while, though.
Opportunity plus instinct equals profit. Well done, brother.
The sword of Kahless, as promised.
Once again, the House of Quark delivers. Martok will be pleased.
So will I, Grilka, once the payment clears. Pleasure doing business with you.
So Martok gets the sword of Kahless. And he shall become Emperor again. Well, I can only wish. You got nothing to say, Nog? Okay. I realized this was an unconventional mission. It didn't go exactly as planned. Still, the data we discovered on the Sword of Kalis should be very helpful to the Alliance. We'll need to keep some of the details of the mission classified, of course. So whatever you do, don't mention it to Morn. The whole quadrant will know about tomorrow. Especially Morn. Don't talk to Morn about it. Okay, so from this we get a Gamma Quadrant Iconian location. So this basically unlocks the Iconian gateway back over near New Romulus, so it can take us straight to the Gamma Quadrant from there, if you want. You also got a bunch of gold pressed latinum, in case you care about that. 7,500, yeah, not bad. And our unique item is Lex Throwing Knives. One of the best weapons, best physical weapons you can get in the game, and they're actually kind of pretty cool. So definitely grab those. And other than that, we got generic plasma and polaron weapons, which we don't really care about. So yeah.
Congratulations, Admiral.
And we're leveled up. Well, we didn't level up, we got another specialization point. Use that. Alright, so hour and 4 seconds. Yeah, okay, that's probably gonna be it for tonight. So got those 2 episodes knocked out. So next time I stream, I'm gonna try to stream again this weekend. So I don't know, either tomorrow night or Saturday or Sunday, we'll see. And then we'll finish up the Gamma Quadrant, do the last 2 parts of that, and knock it out here. You don't need to see me go through all that stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be for tonight. So, yeah, the Quark Fek'ihri 7 is a very fun mission. Definitely enjoy playing that. I kind of wish more of the rest of the missions where you play as other characters were like that, because I don't know why that one's kind of fun to play. And because the enemies are like stupid easy to deal with in that mission, it's like it focuses a lot more on story and puzzle solving rather than combat. In case you noticed. So, and I wish more of the other missions where you play as other characters were designed more that way, but they're not. They're designed around combat, which you have to really set yourself up specifically in order to make the ground combat tolerable in this game. If you're not allowed to make a setup, it's kind of painful to get through, but I'll probably rant about it again in the future. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Take care, and have a good night. I go now. Bye.